Another black person killed by police after what should have ended with a routine traffic stop. Maybe a DUI, maybe a ticket, but for sure not with a bullet in the head. This is the story of Sam DuBose, an African-American that was killed by a University of Cincinnati police officer, Ray Tensing, who has been charged with murder. Prosecutors today announced the indictment and released video from Tensing's body camera that shows him shooting DuBose for no reason in the head. Let's take a look.
Well, until I can figure out if you have a license or not, go ahead and take your seatbelt off for me.
I didn't even do that.
Go ahead and take your seatbelt off. Stop! Stop!
This video is very disturbing, and Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters presented the video at a press conference today, and he also said that, very ironically, that this, and I quote, "This does not happen in the United States. It might happen in Afghanistan or somewhere else, but people here don't get shot during a traffic stop. Obviously they do, Margaret." This is really hard because we've seen just every week a new case of someone being victim of police brutality, people getting stopped for minor things, traffic violations, and ended up dead. This has to stop.
I mean, does this man even actually live in the U.S.? Does he have his, is he so out of touch that he doesn't realize that this does happen? You know, Jose, the catalyst for this was Trayvon Martin. We really weren't paying attention. This has been going on for a very long time here, very pervasive issue, systemic, and police departments across the country. We've seen this in Indiana, Florida, New York, Texas, everywhere. And the only thing different now is that we're seeing police officers indicted. Had there been no body cam, there would be no indictment. That's the fact of this. If there isn't a better case for police officers being mandated to wear body cams, I can't think of a better reason. I mean, we don't know what happens if it's not being recorded. And not only if it's not being recorded, but the entire tape needs to be released unedited. You know, there are a lot of issues going on here, but the body cam saved the day on this one.
Yeah, and the video was released by the police department in its entirety. I watched it. It's obvious that there was no reason for the police officer to react that way. It's very important, though, to make the distinction from other cases that in this case, I did some research, and Tensing does not have a racist persona per se. He's not necessarily.
History of racism?
He's no history of racism.
Until now?
No, I don't. And that's exactly my point. I do not want to make this a racist thing because we don't know, we don't have the facts to make that a statement, but what we do have is the proof that there's a problem with police brutality, with officers using excessive force, reacting completely insane ways to
the punishment doesn't meet the crime, and
I don't think there should be a punishment at all.
Right.
I mean, this guy gets pulled over right outside the campus, and in 10 minutes you're dead.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think maybe he was acting on the precipice that this is a black man that he pulled over. I don't know if racism wasn't a factor here. I mean, we're talking about a young white male cop murdering a black man. I mean, that to me, there is an element of racism in that, just his forethought before he shot him in the head. I don't know if the same outcome would have happened had this man been white and not black.
I mean, that I grant you that. Racial profiling, that's something that exists. It's something that we need to fight, but there's not a declared intention of racism from the cop's side. And I'm not defending the cop. I really think that he gets a life sentence, at least. He has already turned himself. He will be tried. But the reality is that the video is so bad and it shows this easy trigger attitude from the cops that they are very afraid of how people is going to react in Cincinnati. The family has come out and said, you know what, we want everybody to be peaceful. Go out, make your voice be heard, but don't commit any riots, any disturbances that go beyond the law.
Right. Well, trigger-happy cops, it's not going to stop until their training changes, and there is this unspoken, I don't know if it's a brotherhood thing, I don't know what it is, because there are a lot of good cops out there, but the ones where we see this happening, there seems to be an unspoken understanding that nothing is going to happen to them, that they have the right to use lethal force at their own discretion. Maybe that's where it needs to change.
Yeah, and it's important to know that the prosecutor is also trying to look at how other police officers behave after this incident, because seemed like some of the cops tried to cover this guy up by saying that he's Tensing, the police officer, at the beginning, he said that he was being dragged by the car, that he felt that he was his life was in danger because this guy just pulled away. The video shows the real story of it. So people are afraid of how the public is going to react to the lies and to the systemic kind of protection that police departments have for their own. So we'll see. We want to know how you feel about this constant influx of violence against black people, of unnecessary death because cops don't know how to control themselves. Let us know right down below, and please subscribe to LibTV2.